I actually hate the limelight. Creativity is a process of using one's imagination or generating ideas. It provides a mechanism for change, a way to seek and find a different or a better way to do things. Creativity represents the difference between shaping the world and being shaped by it. For me, it's a distinction between having a job and enjoying a career. The opportunity to make a contribution, to feel a sense of achievement and hopefully leave things better than I found them. An opportunity to use my imagination and see where it can take me. Without imagination, there can be no creativity. It's the ignition and the catalyst for change. In the words of Peter Elliott, we cannot work to create a future that we do not first imagine. Unfortunately, imagination is often seen in derogatory terms or is associated with childhood and something that we will or should grow out of as part of the transition to adulthood. Sadly, becoming an adult means to many the need to give up the imaginary and magical world to locate ourselves in the here and now, to learn to live with and accept reality. Being creative in the adult world creates tensions. So often we hear comments like, you need to live in the real world, or welcome to the real world. And believe me, as a university academic for nearly 23 years, I've often been accused of being out of touch with the real world, suggesting that universities do generate ideas, but they really have no bearing on and are often completely out of step with reality. And interestingly, it's probably that very philosophy that attracted me to the ivory towers. The licence to generate ideas and consider the possible and hopefully impart some of this thinking to future generations with less need for strict adherence to rules and bureaucratic processes that might be more characteristic of work in the real world. If imagination is the ignition for creativity, then vision is its fuel. We need vision to direct the change, overcome the obstacles, and most of all, keep people believing that what we want to achieve is possible. And I've got a little exercise for you. Tomorrow I'd like you all to ask 3 people if they think that eliminating homelessness is a vision worth having. And think about the answers you get. My guess is that more often than not, the answer will actually be about limitations rather than vision. People will say things like, that will never happen, nice idea in theory, time to come back to reality, or maybe even, what planet are you on? It fascinates me that so often when the question is about vision, the responses are about limitations. Worse still, there are already a sense of defeat or impossibility of realising the vision. The vision is either wrong or it's unachievable. Either way, it's lost. Creativity and solution-focused thinking is replaced with pragmatism, self-limiting by definition. We are no longer motivated and inspired by possibilities. We think about what we can perceive, what we perceive as the can have rather than the should have. This is likely a consequence of many factors, including economic rationalism and fiscal restraint, forcing us to focus on finances, resources and other pragmatic concerns. We're encouraged to do things right, follow the rule book and avoid the risks, safe but inherently self-limiting. While individually and collectively we all have the potential to be creative, there is so much to discourage us. We come to fear our vision and that of our colleagues. What if it doesn't work? There'll be plenty of people lined up to say, I told you so, and remind us of the dangers of imagination and the futility of vision. Creativity is not the easy way out. It takes courage and resolve, much like our cat here. The willingness to be wrong and still defend the course of action taken. The strength to say that just because it didn't work this time or last time doesn't mean it never will, nor does it mean the vision was wrong or is any less desirable. Fulfilling creative potential is about becoming comfortable and indeed energised by our vision, seizing opportunities to advance it, finding ways to overcome the limitations and learning from the mistakes and other unintended consequences that we encounter along the way. With vision, we can move forward and shape our future rather than allowing ourselves to be shaped by it. The alternative means we continue to be led by our limitations and we will never move beyond them. For me, the idea of a life and a job that's about treading a path, following rules and living in the real world would be nothing short of intellectual starvation. The opportunity to be creative has and always will be my lifeblood. And I'd just like to finish with the inspiring words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Thank you.